Welcome back, toy fans. So, we all love Spider-Man. Everyone loves Spider-Man. There was a Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire days, like almost 20 years ago. I like the Andrew Garfield ones, the Amazing Spider-Man. You have the Tom Holland one now, which is part of the MCU. So, but we all love our Spider-Man. But you know there's different takes of Spider-Man, right? Mine actually is Scarlet Spider. I caught Scarlet Spider's attention. I used to worship the ground, the 90s animated Spider-Man, because you had the X-Men in it, Fantastic Four in it. There was a bunch of cross-references and stuff like that too. It was just cool, all the characters and stuff. But there was the Scarlet Spider towards the end of it. I love that character. Also I think it was a Fantastic Four. He was underneath a gargoyle or underneath the building. You kind of see his outline of him. You knew it was Scarlet Spider. I got nosy, so I started reading some of his comics. He caught my attention off guard. I love this guy. To me, he's original. He is a clone, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, right here, I picked this up from a local toy store. It's a 1/10 scale statue. PCS. Yep. PCS. PCS Collectibles, guys. Just so you guys didn't know that. Here's a couple other versions of it. The one from the game, obviously. Over here, I'm not really quite sure. It's a spirit of something. Spirit Spider suit. I'm unfamiliar with him. Leave me some comments below and tell me who he is, because that saves me homework later on. So, but I saw this. I had to pick it up. I'm a huge Scarlet Spider fan. I just like his costume and everything. And he's bright. He's a bright, fun-loving color. So, anyways, let's get into this guy. So, he cost me about 90 bucks. Don't let him fool you. A lot of other statues, by the way, guys. You guys saw our Wonder Woman review and stuff like that. That was almost $200 right there. So, I saw this. I was like, I'm going to grab this real quick. Yes, I already did open it. Once I bought it, I opened it right there on the spot. I was like, I can't believe I got this. So, I feel like a kid at a candy store. So, I always keep most of the boxes for cool stuff like this. It does come with a cool little stand. Try and get it out of there. Not bad. Of course, like everything else, made in China. Put the Marvel logo on it. PCS. Alright. 2 little peg holes. Okay, self-explanatory, right? Here's the character itself. One piece. There's no adding on to it or anything like that. Let me move these to the side. Alright. Take this guy out. There's your Scarlet Spider. Go ahead and put him in. Stick in the 2 little peg holes down here. Let's stick them in real quick. Now, he has a pretty detailed suit, guys. He starts off with his hoodie. It's solid scarlet color, like almost like an orange red. It's bright to me. I like it. Love the blue. It's like a turquoise, and that's one of my favorite Spider logos, by the way, too. And there's depending on the version of the comics, they just draw a little different. Sometimes some of the comic books he has his hoodie up too. So what's cool about him too is Scarlet Spider also has other weaponry too. By the way, he can shoot like balls of web, nets and all that stuff without really messing with his web shooting abilities. Same thing with his belt, extra cartridges and stuff like that too. Very nice. Same down here, by his ankles, little pouches to carry stuff. Now his feet are pretty detailed too. This is not a bad little statue. This ain't the greatest version statue at all, but for what it is, guys, it's pretty detailed actually. Almost looks like it's armor, but it's like rougher, we'll say like a leather thing to his suit. I love those eyes too. That's one of my favorite eyes right there of any Spider-Man. I don't know, it rivals up there with Venom. I like Venom's eyes too, but he doesn't really count because he's not technically a Spider-Man until Peter Parker got the suit, but he's just the original Spider-Man with a black suit on. So, not bad. Let's see, where's my little measuring tape thing? 1/10 scale, so he's the 10th of the size of what he's supposed to be, right? So we are looking at, he is about 8 inches with the base, give or take. So there's that 9. He's a little under 9. That's with the base, guys. So if you take the base out, he's probably sitting at the 8-inch mark. So he's perfect. He's a nice little background character. Stick him in there, and he'll brighten up your little collection. Not bad. This guy is beautiful, beautiful. That's just cool, guys. Anyways, I want to show off I have like a couple other figures of them, not much. Like I got this little guy right here. This is from Eagle Moss. He's about 3 inches, 3.5 inches tall. He almost looks like one of those chess pieces, but he's a solid piece. He's a little tiny statue. Very nice. I want to show him off too. Then of course, go through the toy section, you run across one of these 12-inch guys. Yep. He's a solid piece. He does the splits and stuff, of course, but I had to get him because he's a good background drop for my little Spider-Man collection. So, nothing fancy about him. He's an older version of him. Some of the newer versions, actually, you can move him really good. So, where is he actually? Does he even tell us? Oh, 2018, so. Let me buy Hasbro. Okay. Didn't expect that one. Hasbro made this. So, yeah. So the reason I pull these out, because a lot of people are like, who is Scarlet Spider? Well, from my experience and my little knowledge about him too, he does have more comic book runs out. They're not as great. He pretty much died. He comes back somehow. And he's all messed up looking and stuff like that too. And I believe that's the comics where he's wearing his hoodies and stuff. Anyways, back in the day, there was a clone saga going on in the 90s. It was not my favorite story. And there's all these clones that the Jackal was collected. He collected, somehow got a hold of DNA for Peter Parker, the original Spider-Man. Okay, cool, whatever. But later on, he makes clones. And one of the only successful clones, let's stop right there real quick. There was other successful clones, but the major successful clone actually was Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly took up the name, changed his hair color, changed his suit, everything, because he was the clone of Spider-Man. But he was the only one to me that did it on his own. He created his own image somewhere else, not to follow the path of Peter Parker and to stay out of his way. So, with my little figure down there, came this book. This is the book from the Eagle Moss stuff too. And there is a couple good stuff in here, pages, some artwork, some beautiful stuff in here, guys. So, let's give you guys an idea. I'm not reading any of that stuff to you, but it tells you a lot about Spider-Man's history with Scarlet Spider. But I won't read this part right here. I like this. He just looks like a smart mouth just hanging out right there. That's cool. That would be a cool poster to have, actually. Alright, Scarlet Spider. Okay. With the brain, body, and powers of Peter Parker, maybe Ben Reilly's destiny was inescapable. Created by evil genetic juggler, the Jackal, to defeat Spider-Man in the battle. The clone later developed an identity and life of his own. See? Like I said. Okay. But the noble spirit of Spider-Man burned just as brightly in his clone, and Ben Reilly, driven to become a hero in his own right as the Scarlet Spider. He cut a familiar figure swinging through the Manhattan skies, even fighting alongside Spider-Man himself. To Spider-Man, perhaps it was too good to last. Yeah, they got in each other's way all the time, and later on, Peter Parker later on was convinced that he was the clone. So Scarlet Spider ended up coming back as Peter Parker, but not Peter Parker. He still kept Ben Reilly, and that's where you got the Spider-Man. I don't like that costume, but you have his web shooter sticking out, you know, all the cool stuff that Scarlet Spider has, but they just mixed and matched up. It was just a nightmare costume. But it's okay, guys. But anyways, he took over like as Spider-Man. But later on, Ben Reilly died. I believe he fell on a car or something like that. He disintegrated. And Peter Parker ended up coming back as Spider-Man, realizing he was the real one. So, and also there's another storyline to it I really care for, is when Peter Parker lost his powers and Mary Jane was, I think, pregnant or something like that. But what can you do, guys? But this is my little Scarlet Spider stuff. So, and I'm gonna add more to it because, like I said, he's my favorite Spider-Man. He is amazing. So, and I really like this. This is just cool. So, I saw it, like I said. I saw the other two on the shelf. I saw this. I had to get it. I couldn't resist. I was like, I even posted on the group. I was like, I couldn't resist, guys. I had to get it. So that's what sucks about being in a toy place all the time. There's so much stuff you want, but you know, you gotta watch your bearing. But after I saw that guy, I was like, no one else is getting them. I'll be selfish. That's mine. Well, anyways, I hope you guys liked, and this is a fun time actually, because I like sharing off new toys and stuff. So, well, until next time, kiddies. Remember, you can never go wrong with toys. Swing, swing, swing. There's my Scarlet Spider, guys. You like swinging around? Anyways, little string. Boom. It's not about the black cat, guys. It's about Scarlet Spider.